In today's episode, Monitor Blues. Send me the website that these credentials are for. Poor guy deletes mail app, it's worse than I thought. How to type a phone number when users are even outplayed by a bunch of cables. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Monitor Blues. I work at a large university in the US. One of the top universities, in fact. That doesn't mean that the students, staff, or faculty are any more computer literate than any other clueless users. This is another tale from back in the days of CRT monitors. Yes, I'm that old. So the accountant for the department I was working for at the time apparently had an issue with her 19-inch CRT monitor and took it upon herself to purchase a new one. This without letting me know there was a problem, so no troubleshooting performed on the old monitor. She had a university purchasing card, Visa, so was able to purchase one over the weekend. Now these 19-inch CRTs were beasts that took two people to handle properly. Not only were they fairly heavy, but if a single person picked one up wrong, it was easy to dump it on its screen. As surprisingly, that was where most of the weight was. How she got it to her office by herself is beyond me. Her husband and her son must have helped. So Monday morning she asked me to help her set up the new monitor. She had already removed all the cables from the old monitor, so once again, not able to troubleshoot. I asked her what was wrong with the old monitor, and she told me it was flickering and jumpy. Okay then, several things could cause that, but she insists on the new monitor. I grab the IT cart from the supply room, we load the old monitor on it, and unbox the new monitor. I get the new monitor all set up and turn it on. Screen is flickering and jumpy on the new monitor as well. So it's something in the environment and not a monitor issue. Check the refresh rate to make sure it is not set to 60 Hz. Power in the US cycles at 60 Hz, and if you had your refresh rate set to 60 Hz, the fluorescent office lights could cause problems. Also, a UPS too near a CRT could cause this issue, but the UPS was on the floor, shouldn't be causing a problem. As I sat there contemplating the issue and watching the fish swim around in the aquarium that was sitting on the wooden shelving unit between her desk and the next workstation, it hit me. An aquarium. With an external filter. A filter that uses a magnet drive. Son of a, I reach over and unplug the filter. Eureka! The monitor is now working perfectly. Apparently, when I asked if she had changed anything recently, nothing meant I moved the filter from the far end of the aquarium to the end closest to the monitor. To be fair, the aquarium had been there for months without an issue, and with the approval of the boss. It just didn't connect with her that making a change in the aquarium could cause an issue on the computer. So someone got a monitor upgrade thanks to the accountant. Most staff were using 14-inch CRTs at the time, so someone was very happy with their 19 upgrade. Still though, I sometimes go home with a headache from beating my head on my desk. Send me the website that these credentials are for. Sharing a story from my project manager. One particular user at client keeps sending their username and password in a plaintext email with multiple CCs. PM kept telling them not to do that, resetting their password and sending it to them with a one-time secret link, and the user would then do the exact same thing again. Finally, PM got fed up and asked for advice in our chat. Senior dev advised him to change their password, wait for them to complain, and then inform them that their account was compromised by sharing their password over email. However, PM went ahead and took a more drastic approach and straight up deleted their account. After their account was deleted, user sent another email with a screenshot of a completely different website. At this point, PM asked them, "What exactly are you trying to do?" and informed them that that was not a website we manage. The user wrote back, "Send me the URL for these credentials," pastes username and password in plain text. Poor guy deletes mail app, it's worse than I thought. I think we've all heard stories about people somehow deleting apps they shouldn't be able to delete. This one just keeps going though. So I used to work in a call center for an American phone service, sells phones, doesn't make them. I'd get plenty of calls about poor connection and data, even one lady who insisted I was Samsung and lying to her about working for service provider. One day, I get a call from a guy asking for help because he deleted his mail app. Now I was 100% allowed to just give him contact info for the phone manufacturer, but it was a slow day and he seemed nice, if clueless, so I decided to walk him through it. Tried turning it off and on again, didn't work. Me, okay sir, please open the App Store. Him, what? Me, it's blue and looks like an A. Him, oh. Okay. Found it. Me, alright, now search for mail. Him, how do I do that? Me, see the little space at the top with a magnifying glass? Tap that. Him, no. Oh yes. Okay. Me, now type mail and hit enter. Him, okay. Stops for a second, I just see fitness apps. Me, what? Realizes, oh no, not MALE, search for MAIL. Him, oh. Okay. Now what? Me, do you see a picture with an envelope on it called mail? Him, yes. Me, perfect. Download that. Him, how? Me, oh boy. Okay, there should be a little cloud icon. Hit that. Please don't require a password. Him, got it. Me, no password required, thank God, alright. You got it. Just open that app and we should be all good here. Him, it says I need to sign into my email account. Me, alright, just put in your username and password. Okay, I'm going insane just typing all this again. He didn't remember his password and was absolutely helpless at resetting it. I helped him through it, but he got stuck on making a password that meets security requirements. I tried just asking him to make sure it had a capital, number, and special characters. He asked how. I ended up having him tell me what he was trying to set his password to and telling him character by character what to type as his new password. At least, in the end. He had his mail app again. How to type a phone number. One from a colleague of mine who looks after support for our telephone and conference equipment. User calls and says they can't dial into a phone conference call because their phone doesn't have the correct button on it. They explain they can dial the general conference number, but they can't enter the 5-digit code to connect them to their specific conference call. Colleague has very occasionally had similar things before with British versus US English and people getting confused when asked to press hashtag, which can be called a pound or hash key. But it's not that. So colleague asks them for the number and for permission to connect as a test. User agrees, colleague connects without issue. Colleague is puzzled and asks user to go through it again step by step with them saying what button they're pressing, as they're pressing it, so colleague can work out how they can possibly screw this up. Check the logs. Everything's okay until user gets to the 5-digit code, which has a nice sequence 7, 8, 9, 10. Easy to remember, easy to type. However, user explains that their phone keypad only goes from 0 to 9, and they don't have a 10 key. Colleague goes on mute for a few seconds, and once they've stopped laughing they diplomatically suggest someone may be given them an incorrect code and to try 10, not 10. User thanks him and goes away happy, still not realizing what happened. When users are even outplayed by a bunch of cables. LTLFTP. I work in-house IT in a medical research institute in Germany. Not much to tell, but it's one of the stories every new IT employee here gets to hear. You would think that people here would have some basic understanding of computers and machines. But this one user, let's call him Martin, was a bit untalented with computers. I can understand that someone doesn't know some basic Windows stuff, certain software or else, but some basics should be there. Martin had a problem with his monitor turning off and on randomly. As we were a little bit understaffed, and had only little to no time to walk to every user's office to analyze, I told him to try a new cable because this solved the problem in the past. He came to us to get a new cable. I gave him one and told him to try it out. Half an hour later, Martin called me. The new cable doesn't work at all. I asked the basic IT questions, is the monitor turned on, etc., but none of them seems to be the problem. So I took the time to come to him. He was fiddling around on the back of the monitor complaining about the cable not fitting. Remember those plastic caps on new cables to protect the connector? He tried to plug his new VGA cable in with this cap still on. Severely damaged his monitor with it, ended up with me getting him a new monitor and explaining to him how to plug in cables. He thanked me, everything was okay. Our IT department had a good laugh and things were forgotten shortly after. Something like 4 months later, Martin called again. One of his USB ports stopped working. I walked directly to his office since I was on my way to another user. Turns out he somehow didn't manage to plug his USB stick in the right way. Basic trial and error everyone has with USB ports at one point. But somehow he managed to push so hard on it that the USB port broke off internally, now just wiggling around. He told me that he even marked the upside on this stick, so he doesn't have to fiddle around every time. I don't know if you ever tried to jam a cable or USB stick in with something blocking it from going in, but it takes quite some force. Don't know how this happens on accident. Can't make this sh*t up.